could we open this right now and get an autographed Mike badass card in here?
Maybe. Let's see. Let's check that out. I got it.
Okay.
I got
so
one
we're
too.
gonna thank you to Gloria. All right, at Olympia tradingcards.com. All right, our newest sponsor. They've sent Dennis and I a case, and we're gonna open them right here and see what we got.
Let's see.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about this. If we get a mic, that's gonna be awesome.
Show me, guys. I want to see it.
All right, so let's go through these.
So you got.
So these were at the Olympia. All right, if you guys didn't see them, they had their own booth.
How many cards are in
No
one
way. Look at that. The second picture.
Who you got? Let me see.
No way.
All right. That's great, man. Hello, bodybuilding fans, and welcome back to our post-Olympia first show back of Big Bad Bodybuilding. I'm your host, Zack Barnard. With me, as always, my co-host and the star of the show, Mr. Dennis Big Bad Wolf from Las Vegas. Dennis, how are we doing?
Hey, partner. Hi, everyone. Doing well. Just had my birthday 2 days ago, so
happy birthday.
Got older again, so
that's right.
Good.
Now, Dennis, your birthday, I think you're a year older than me, correct? Is that 46?
I'm 46, yes.
46. All right. My birthday's in the 19th, so I'll be 45. So I'm right behind you. So that's kind of an ongoing joke that we have. Yeah. So well, happy birthday, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Anything special? Did you guys do anything special? Just went out to eat?
Oh, yeah. Went out to eat. Went out to a bar for a couple of drinks. That's it.
What I love, especially on Instagram, everybody, the birthdays are a big reason to post, right? So I love seeing all your old fans. And
yeah, I haven't posted like.
And let me ask you, some of these shots you see from your prime in 2006.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, look. Yeah,
let me ask you,
if
when you see something, you see a lot that you've never seen.
Yeah. But look, it's your birthday, and then you spend like 2 hours answering everyone. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, that's your birthday present. But
yeah.
I think that's cool, man. Matter of fact, when we have people on the show, because I was that teenager years ago, standing in line to meet you guys and shaking hands, and I love to try to find these old photos from the early or the late 90s and early 2000s where I'm 150 pounds with a tight shirt on posing to these guys. And so I'm sure that's a trip for you to see all that and probably shots you've never seen of yourself. And you're like, dude, I don't even remember that, so that's got to be pretty cool. That's got to be pretty cool.
Time flies, but it's always great to see, all the old pictures and and it's cool, so you can see how many fans you got and how long they've been fans, so it's
absolutely
crazy. It's awesome.
Yeah. So we're here. We're first day of November here. So we're post Olympia. We haven't had a show since Olympia. We didn't really have an Olympia follow-up show. I'm sure there's plenty of those guys out there, and I'm sure Dennis is on plenty of them if you want to see his opinion on that. But as far as us, and we did have the podcast out there. We had Nutrition Wolf out there. I think it was a success. Dennis was busy, man, the whole time. I know we were slammed. How was the whole experience for you, Dennis? Do you think it was productive? I know we got a lot of good things out of it.
The booth was busy, very, very busy. So
almost as much as the Arnold, right? Like it was crazy.
Yes, yeah. Compared to Arnold, it was like day and night. So the expo was packed. The fans were, excited. Like all of them, were excited to see. Most of it was Classic, So the Classic was at the expo, and so I got to talk to all the fans who stopped by the booth. And they were all talking about Classic, and of course, Samson, Hadi, or Derek. That was all the talk, like the whole weekend.
Yeah, and we hadn't really talked. After going back and looking at the pictures, we won't get into too much because we got an awesome guest today. But for my 2 cents, I still had Hadi winning, condition-wise, overall package. But it was good to see a new champion, and we'll see what that brings for the new year. Do you think they got it right, Dennis?
Absolutely. Look, Samson's a tall guy. He always stands out a lot more, than the shorter guys. And I think he finally brought it, So my issue was always his condition. So, but this time, I would say he was perfect, but hey, he still has room to grow and to get better. So I'm very very happy for him, and yeah. So we have a new champion. That champion could stay up there for a long time. So except another one like Andrew Jack comes,
Yeah,
close.
that's my guy, man. I thought his conditioning was better than Samson. We've talked about this. I had Andrew ahead of Samson, even though he placed where he did. But we'll see if he can continue to improve. But yeah. I love what Andrew brought as well, and I just like his overall look better. But we'll see. We'll see if he can.
It's a different physique, and unfortunately, he was not so sharp and in condition. This Olympia, but on Saturday he was a lot better. So he made a couple of places for sure from Friday. So that was cool. Good,
well, we'll see what happens with Arnold. Are both those guys doing the Arnold? I'm pretty sure they're both doing it as of right now. So we'll see. All right, let's. I'm excited to bring on our guest. So real quick, this episode's sponsored by Nutrition Wolf. Dennis's personal line of nutritional supplements. If you go on to nutritionwolf.com, you can save 20% with code BBB. Also, we have a new sponsor, Olympia Trading Cards. I was able to visit with them at the expo, and we kicked off a collaboration. So we're going to have more and actually do an unboxing of some cards here later in the episode. So really excited about that. Thank you to Olympia Trading Cards. We're going to find out more on that shortly. And we, as far as I know, we're the only place giving a 10% discount. Go on olympiatradingcards.com, enter code WOLF10 and get 10% off of these elite trading cards. So really excited to have them on board. All right, let's get to our guest. All right, speaking of everyone talking about the Classic Physique Olympia, we've got the man on paper as it stands is the next in line to potentially take that crown next year. Our runner-up, Mr. Mike Sommerfeld. Mike, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, how you doing? But first, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Okay.
Yeah, that was good. You know what?
Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart.
Dennis and I've been partners for over a year, coming up on 2 now, and I didn't know it was his birthday, so I started seeing the posts and I was like, oh shit, now I gotta post one, right? So I looked at my phone and I found my favorite pic of Dennis and I. If you guys haven't seen it, I don't know if it's still up, but it's from the Arnold, and well, you'll have to see it for yourself, but it's a good pic. But anyway, yeah, I feel bad. I was a little late to the party, but
don't worry, it's just a birthday. We get older. It's not fun anymore,
That's why I'm using Facebook. They will tell you birthdays.
That's right. That's right.
That's let you know right away. Yeah.
I don't think we're friends on Facebook, Dennis. So we'll have to change that.
I'm not on Facebook anymore, I think.
That's why he forgot.
That's right. Well, Dennis has like 80 million followers on Facebook, and he's not on there anymore. So why we're not using that, I'm really not sure.
I got hacked, and after that, I disconnected my Instagram from Facebook, and since then, I'm just not touching that. So,
so we are. Yesterday was Halloween here. Now, Mike, I'm a little ignorant on this, but is America the only one that celebrates Halloween? I believe we are. Is that kind of a made-up holiday? Like, you guys don't do it over there, right?
Oh, I love Halloween. Unfortunately, we were out for dinner yesterday, and I was not able to go from door to door to get sweets, but I love to do it. I will do it again when I have kids one day.
You guys do practice. You do recognize the holiday over there in Germany?
Of course. Yeah, I'm the guy like 30 years old walking from door to door and get the sweets.
Okay, well, this is news to me. So, Dennis, growing up, did you go trick-or-treating? I didn't realize this was a German holiday.
No way. No way. Now it's like everywhere. Whole Europe celebrates Halloween. So it changes a lot over the, I would say, last 15 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Dennis, when they came by your house, were you giving out like pure protein bars and?
Hey, man, I live outside of Las Vegas, so it's empty. There's no kids here, so I'm here in a village.
Yeah, you probably did go over to Henderson.
So we trained yesterday. Was I mean, no noise, no nothing. It was dark. It didn't feel like Halloween.
Mike, what's your favorite Halloween candy? Don't say candy corner. We're just gonna cut you off the show right now.
You know Kinder Bueno?
No.
Bro, come on. These chocolate bars from Germany, Kinder, like Kinder chocolate.
Okay. No, I've heard of Kinder. I have heard of that. Okay.
And Wonder Bar.
Okay. All right. Now, is
Wonder
this something they give out door to door? Or is it, Okay. They make little mini versions of it, I'm guessing.
I don't know. I'm just taking the big ones.
All right. Well, all right. So, okay. I learned something today. We also got daylight savings time coming up. Now, I think 40% of the world participates in daylight savings. I think Germany does. I know, obviously, everywhere here in the States does, except for, I think, parts of Arizona. But anyway, so we got that coming up. Does that affect you guys at all? I know, like, for 2 weeks, like, I love the fall back, right? Because it feels like you get that extra hour during the day. But the spring just kills me, man. It just it takes me 2 weeks to really adjust. But I love the fall back. How do you guys feeling that or what?
Honestly, I'm traveling since 3 years. So I'm like in different countries every 2, 3, 4 weeks, and we have different time zones. So I'm used to it.
It doesn't affect you. Okay. All right. Well, Dennis, do you really know the time zone?
I really do feel it, so I mean, I can sleep, longer, less, whatever, so it's not a big deal for me to sleep longer, right? That 1 hour, time change, whatever. But the body is not taking it. Like you feel like for a week at least or two, something is off. Just that's totally weird feeling. So yeah, and I think it's not good for the body, anyways, to just kind of switch over. So it's a lot of stress. So I mean, if you feel something is off, it's stress to your body. So it's never good.
Well, I think that's what makes Mike, last year, and the fact that you do travel so much, that much more impressive. Because, like you say, you're always changing time zones, and I guess if you just stay, consistently on the, on your clock, regardless of the time, it's probably not a problem. But it definitely affects me. But let's get into some bodybuilding talk. So I know right before the Olympia, Mike, you got out there. When did you get to the U.S.? Were you in the U.S. for a while? I know you were in Vegas for a couple of weeks prior.
Yeah, 3.5 weeks out to the show.
Okay. And when did you go by Dennis's? I know you guys did some training together and he took a look at you.
Guess 2 weeks out, right?
It was pretty close.
Yeah, like not too far out from the Olympia. But I need to make sure he can see me in like almost condition shape. So because his advice is really like, really important. So I want to make sure that he can see something at least.
I tell you what, I remember, go ahead, Dennis.
No, hey, I was not surprised, but you see all the time the pictures, the videos is one thing, but seeing someone, especially like a classic physique athlete, highest level, so close, it was impressive. And I always been saying for the last couple of years, I prefer Mike's physique over the most competitors. And finally he brought it to the stage.
Man, I remember seeing the updates from that week. And Mike, honestly, I had to call Dennis and was like, he's doing classic, right? Because I mean, some shots, I thought you looked open, man. I mean, you looked really full. But you always have. I remember seeing, I've been following you for a couple of years now on Instagram, and you're one of those guys, you see it by yourself, you're like, it doesn't get any better than this, right? And then when you get on stage, you may see some little flaws. Your conditioning wasn't quite there. Last year, personally, for me, I even thought your tan was a little light. So this year, I mean, your conditioning was on point. Your tan was better. I think I saw something on a podcast that your dad does your tan. Is that right? Well,
yes.
Tell him good job. You got it right this year, because I really thought that made a difference. I felt like you were a little lighter last year, and I think the tan was more on point, and everything came together, man. But you really looked awesome. And as Dennis said, so going into that show, Dennis, did you really, think he was going to be a threat for like the top spot, or at least move up from where he was the year before?
I saw Mike always in the top 5 at least. He's he must be up there, right? So, and last year he didn't get it because I know Mike was sick and all that, so it happens. So it was always something happened to Mike that he's not he's not been moving up. But hey, after I saw him live, I mean, it was so impressive. But the thing is, you never know how the judging will be, right? All of that. So it's a classic. It's a little bit different than an open class, and that's why I was a little bit worried. And also we had a bet, and I wanted to bet the different. Like I want to put him in the top 3, but I was like, man, I don't care if I lose or not. So, but I wanted kind of to maybe so Mike thinks I don't see him that far, so maybe he's just kind of that motherfucker. I'm gonna show him. So
Right.
and
You don't want to.
yeah,
You don't want to
I'm
prop him
glad
up too
he
high.
you fucking brought it, man. It was like everything was just on point, and that happens maybe once, twice, or three times in your life as an athlete. So that everything is just on point, and like for 2 days, you just like an open class, we had 2 days to compete, but Classic, he just didn't change, and yeah, everything was just perfect. He was not sweating, nothing was running down like the tan or so. Sometimes all of that happens. So just everything worked out on a minute.
Mike, I know you have a coach, but you said that, Dennis gave you some advice. Is there anything you can share with us and our listeners that maybe it was the way you held your pose or something you did the last couple of days that Dennis maybe gave you advice on that worked for you?
Yeah, I was watching the video. So we made a video for YouTube, and I was watching his face and his expression in his face. So every time I was hitting a pose and he was like, ooh, and okay, this one is good. If he seems to be not impressed, and I like, okay, maybe I need to adjust it here and there. So I was watching his face.
Okay.
And Neil called me 3-4 times a day. He's my coach, Neil Hill. He called me 3-4 times a day at least. Hey, Mike, squeeze your chest. Don't forget to squeeze your abs. Do this, do that. Like, he was really behind, and I practiced, I guess, 3 times every day, 3-4 rounds, hold it every pose for 10 seconds. I try to make sure that my posing is on point, because the classic division, like, everybody is on point. Some athletes might not hit it right, but like I would say 85% of the athletes look top notch. If you miss a pose, it's basically, okay, you're out. There's no room for any mistakes.
I agree.
I mean, you compete right next to Chris Bumstead. If you miss a pose, that's it. You're going to lose it.
Especially in Classic Physique. That's what, makes you, like the visual art, you're making that art, right? So in bodybuilding is more like, it's bodybuilding is heavy, it's still, some of them look more aesthetic than the others, but Classic, it's all about hitting the poses right, and knowing in which poses you look the best or better, or so, and yeah, practice is everything. I remember that stuff, man. That's like the last 3-4 weeks. It was nasty. But then on stage, he was like, another one, another comparison. I don't care. All right. So awesome.
The more you practice, the more you get used to it. And if you get compared 1, 2, 3 times, you already warmed up, and everybody starts like shaking and they're like sweating and stuff, and you're like, okay, now it's game time, and you will get.
Yeah, that's a sign that they are not prepared as you are, so they've been like maybe lazy a little bit, or not practicing enough, to hang in there. Like mostly you do like 2-3 comparisons, but it's just normal, right? But if you have to fight for the top spots, there are another 3-4 coming.
Yep.
Mike, which shot do you use when they give you that, your favorite, classic pose? Which one do you go with, and why is that?
I took the lat spread, front lat spread, and the side twisted back double bicep.
Okay, so you usually hit both of those like back to back?
Yeah, but the second one, I was watching Chris, and it was the like straight comparison between Chris and me, and I saw him like turning around and doing the honor pose. Like, okay, that's my shot. Like, I know it looks quite good because my left side is really deeply striated, my glutes, my triceps. So I tried to show my strongest points. I was turning around, squeeze my glutes, push down my triceps, hitting the pose, and then he was turning into the front, and I did that too. Like, I tried to fight him in every pose. I knew that it's not going to happen. I will not beat him, but I try to fight as hard as I can.
Absolutely. So do you feel like now going forward, let's say next year, that's like you said, you're chasing him. I'm gonna do this shot, compared to Chris, so I can compare to him. Like, who do you really see as your biggest threat? I mean, they're all great, But who's that guy for you now? Or are you the guy? Are you the guy that they're going to compare themselves to?
Definitely not. I think there's a lot of work to do, especially mentally and physically. We're talking about winning the Olympia, and winning the Olympia is you need to have the tools ready to be a champion. And being a champion does not mean you're the guy holding a trophy or a medal. You need to be a champion here and here. And this is what I need to work on. And of course, physically, I'm not at my 100%. I have still 3 pounds to go to add, and I know exactly what to do. And I guess the biggest threat will be Rough Diesel. He will come in sharp, heavier, and better than ever. We have Wesley, Ramon, Urs. They won't make any mistake the next time. They will make sure they are on the money. Everybody's chasing the title now. So do I. Every one of us have to go back to work, because it's going to be, I guess, I truly believe it's going to be the hardest battle in Classic ever. There's the spot number 1 is wide open and everybody's shooting for it. And don't forget the rookies coming up. We have Jose from Spain. He looks phenomenal. Everybody from like the top 6 down to top 12. Guys, they're coming, believe me. And they're young, like 22, 23, 24.
Yeah, those 2 Brazilians that placed right behind him in Brazil at the Brazil Olympia, those guys are phenomenal too. Tiny, tiny waists. So they're definitely coming for you. But I mean, you're the guy right now, obviously getting a lot of notation. I mean, I hope you make the most of it, run with it. You know, you started in 212, right? So how quickly, first of all, what's your weight now? What would you compete at?
Now my weight cap is 212. I tried, okay. You know, the story behind is that I started bodybuilding when I was 11 years old, and there was no classic physique. There was no men's physique. There was just true bodybuilding, simple bodybuilding. And I love that. Heavy, nasty, you know, typical bodybuilding. So my heart still beats for bodybuilding, but logically, I need to accept that my bone structure is perfectly to compete in Classic. And that's what I'm doing. And I will stay in Classic because that makes the most sense.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's just really hard because I know Dennis will tell you, you know, just you get to that point almost like Derek Lunsford where, you know, does your body want to keep trying to grow? And you can't grow much more. I remember you talking about putting on like 60 pounds last year, and then, you know, that 12 of that was stage weight. You can't do that anymore. So that has to, I mean, that's got to be a little frustrating, right? Because you know that you're capable of that. You know, I'd love to ask you this question next year or even the year before, and we'll see if that open, you know, that open conversation comes into play. But no, I mean, you know, you got to master this class first. You know, I get it. But so yeah, my question was going to be, you know, after the 212 question, just doing the 212 show, did you know that Classic was the division for you?
Yes, 100%.
Yep, good. Well, you made the most of it. So I mean, we'll see. I just, you know, want to see how, if you can keep your body weight under that 212 cap is going to be tough, because
I know how to do it. I reached my weight cap 4 years ago already. So I had like just main intense calories, like 2,800, 3,000 calories, no intense training, no real off season. And I was stuck in there for 3 years. So I know how it feels. I know what to do. It's basically waiting to go back on diet for 8 months.
Nice. Well,
I have a question for you, man.
Go ahead. I'm going to grab something real quick. Go ahead.
So, yeah, okay. How much or what has changed since placing second or next to Chris Bumstead at the Olympia this year? So, did you get like more guest appearances? Like, are you gonna travel more right now, or already doing that? So how much has it changed since that moment?
Yes, it does. Big time. Honestly, my Instagram exploded pretty much. Like, I guess 200,000 followers in 3 days. It was really incredible. Wow. And I'm still answer every person personally. So I was sitting for like 2.5 weeks every night, like 3-4 hours, texting people and thank them. You know, I really appreciate all the attention, and people text me like, hey, you're an inspiration, you motivate me, and I love that. So that, you know, I have to answer personally, but it takes some time, but I love to do it. And of course, seminars, guest appearances, that's what I'm doing right now. So I try to give back as much as I can. I've been to Dennis James last weekend, to help and support, see the athletes, motivate them. Now I'm in Poland doing the same. I'm heading over to Mexico next week doing the same, visiting the shows, doing guest posing in Chicago in November. And then I'm done spending Christmas and New Year's in Vegas and getting my breakfast from Dennis.
Yep.
Training at the Wolf's Den, right?
Yes, too. Yes. Yep. But that's basically it. And then I'm done traveling, going back to Spain. Going back to Spain and see what we're going to do from there.
So you're staying in Marbella?
I think so. It's a pretty nice place.
Especially in winter. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's not that cold. And I mean, people, you know, when I go to different destinations, I always make sure the food is good, the gym is good, and the people are nice. And you have these typical Spanish Mediterranean mentality, like easy people, very relaxed, very open. Yeah, super nice. It's not like Mexico. Mexico is super not structured. If they say, hey, let's meet at 3 p.m., they will call you 2 days later. Hey, bro, what's up? I'm right next to your house. Let's do whatever. It's like, oh, okay, it's like 2 days ago already. Yeah, Mexico's great. It's crazy and great, both.
So, Mike, about next year, is that where you're going to set up camp? Is in Spain, or predominantly for most of the year? I know you've been traveling without really a home. Do your wife and you and your wife just travel around and stay with, you know, wherever's best for your training to go on for a period of time? Is that how you're rolling right now?
Basically, yes. So I met her. I mean, we were friends like years ago, and I met her, and I said, you know what? Maybe there's something more than just friendship. And she was like, yeah, maybe you're right. I feel the same. But I told her, hey, I'm going to leave Germany in about 3 months. I will move to Mexico. She was like, all right, I'm in. But she was young, you know, like years ago. And I was like, yeah, okay, maybe she's not that serious. So let's wait. And she called me, said, hey, babe, you know what? I just sold my car, and was like, holy, she's serious. Okay, let's talk about it. We moved to Mexico, pretty amazing place. We lived between Cancun and Tulum, the Caribbean beach side. It's like the typical Caribbean Google picture. White beach, crystal clear water, super cheap. So we rented a house, 2 stages, gym, pool, everything included, $500 a month, total price. Wow. The food is so cheap. Everything is cheap and it's so easy. But there's the big thing. They basically have no rules. I mean, they have rules, but nobody cares about the rules. And a good friend of mine, he got shot in front of the gym. Like, they shot in his head and his heart. Like, it was not an accident. It was, they want to see him dead. And I decided that might not be the best place to have a family and, you know, taking care of my wife. Yeah, then we decided to go to Dubai because we saw many pictures and people were talking very positive about Dubai. So we decided, okay, babe, let's go to Dubai. Let's see what happens. We stayed there, prepped for the Arnolds, and I liked it because that's basically the new bodybuilding mecca. You have the Venus gym. I don't know how many 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 square feet it is. It's like 6, 7, 8, 8 gyms in one gym. You have 3 restaurants, 4 or 5 supplement shops, barbers, doctors, physiotherapists, a posing room, everything. You can spend like weeks in there. And Anis, the owner, he's actually just buying and building apartments around the gym to invite pro athletes to live inside the gym. They have everything.
Amazing. So that's what you guys did. Did you guys stay in the apartments there?
No, they're not done yet.
Okay, they're building it now.
Yeah, they're building right now. And Dubai is super easy. You don't need to go out to buy groceries. You just click on your phone. They will deliver everything you can imagine right to your doorstep. Massage therapy, cleaning service, babysitter, whatever. It's just one click on your phone. You're good to go.
I know, but it's in Russia the same. Just
for real,
one click, everything anytime.
I didn't know. Yeah, but Dubai feels like a big theme park. It's like Universal Studios times 10. Everything is man-made. It's perfectly clean. You will not find any piece of trash. Never, nowhere. It's super clean. It's super safe. It's the safest city in the world. I can tell my wife, hey, go out grocery shopping 3 a.m. in the morning in a bikini. Nobody will even look at her. Not because she's not pretty. She's pretty, but nobody will look at her just for the respect.
Right.
This is how
it's different.
these
Yeah.
guys are.
I got you.
Yeah.
So do you see yourself setting up there long term? Or I mean, at some point you guys settle down. I mean, have you thought about where you may, buy a home and set up shop, or we're just kind of rolling with the bodybuilding for the immediate future?
We're gonna go back to Dubai and we're gonna switch the places. I believe it's gonna be Spain and Dubai. Dubai for bodybuilding and Spain for, let's call it life.
Okay.
Just go out, have a nice old town, hanging around a little bit, drinking coffee here and there. Dubai is incredibly fast. If you want to make business, Dubai is your place. If you want to hang around with like friends and just do nothing sometimes, Dubai might not be the best place. But hanging around doing nothing in Spain is like the most common thing. Like that's what they do all day, basically.
Well, it makes sense. It sounds like a great plan. I mean, you're still, how old are you now, Mike?
30.
Okay. Yeah. You've got some great years left, man. I'm really excided to see what you're going to do. And with the progress you made last year, I mean, that's amazing. I can't wait to see what you're going to do, this next year. Now, are you qualified now? I'm a little fuzzy on how the qualification works for Classic. Are you qualified, or are you planning on competing this next year before the Olympics?
Top 3 is qualified.
Okay. Do you think you'll just wait and do the Olympia, or you haven't decided yet if you're going to do some earlier shows?
I haven't decided yet. Honestly, personally, for me, I want to go on stage tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I love to compete, but there's so many different aspects we need to take care of. It's like health, it's momentum. It's like, if I do like 10 more shows, I will be burned out in the end of the year to do the Olympia. So we need to make smart decisions now. On top of that, we have 3 pounds to go. So we need to decide, okay, are we going to do a big off season, a small off season, duration, how intense, like what are we going to do? And we need to make plans, but I'm quite sure Olympia 100%. But for me personally, I would like to compete, but it's more up to Neil. He makes the smart decisions.
Okay, so no decisions on the Arnold yet. You don't know what you're going to do there.
No. Okay. I don't. Who's competing at the Arnold? I think Ramon is not competing.
Dennis, what would you like to see Mike do? Dennis, do you think it'd be a smart play to go straight to the Arnold, or take more of the year off and focus on the Olympia with the fact that he just placed second?
Man, it can work well both ways. But I think right now the Olympia, the title is wide open, right? So everybody can grab it. So I will probably be focusing on Olympia, probably, if I will be Mike.
Right? It's tough though, right? Because Mike's got this momentum, man. People want to see you compete. It's like, kind of like when Samson jumped up there.
I know. But that's another thing. You're like Mike said, he needs to improve, right? So there are 3 pounds to go, all of that. So, and it depends on the body, right? How you feel, how's everything going? How's the body reaction to everything you're doing, right? So, and if you feel well, yes, of course, why not to compete, right? Why not competing? But I think like mentally, you'll be more prepared, like focusing on Olympia only, So, and also he's not lazy, so he got a lot of things to do. He's doing seminars, all of that. So people gonna see him. There are a lot of expos next year, so that's important. Not to gonna disappear somewhere. Like you remember the Mr. Olympia's, like Hadi and Big Ramy. So they'll be doing a lot in their countries, but not outside. So that was I would say, not a good thing, as a Mr. Olympia and for bodybuilding. But for Mike, hey, a lot of doors opening now. and yeah, he needs to see what's gonna go on next year. He's gonna be busy for sure, but if the body says, "Hey, everything is cool," I will say yes. Shortly before Olympia, maybe do a show, but I will really just focus on Olympia.
Yeah, it's hard decisions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the thing, you have to know, like, you have to feel it. What's the best for you. You know the feeling. If everything is cool, like you feel great, every workout is great. Appetite is perfect. Every meal get in, without issues. That kind of feeling, so you're happy, around you everything is cool. So that's what makes you more comfortable to make the decision and maybe do like something different than you've been planning a year before or 6 months before. Yeah.
Well, it's a tough decision,
But
Mike.
hey,
Good
a
luck on
year
making
a
that one.
year is nothing. A year goes quick,
Yeah.
so I mean,
Right.
so another
Real
10
quick.
months, no, 11 months, there's another Olympia, right? So
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know the dates already?
I'm about to say
yeah.
that plays a factor. I don't know if they're going to move it or keep it. They need to, keep it one weekend and keep it there, right? I think so. Maybe now that
I
it's back
heard,
home in Vegas, maybe they'll settle down on a date.
I heard that's gonna be in Vegas again. If I need to choose, I would go for Vegas.
Oh, Vegas
Orlando
is the
is
best
nice.
place for that.
Yeah, Las Vegas is amazing.
Yeah, that's where it needs to stay, I think. So everybody pretty much agrees on that. Real quick before we got a little game for you guys, we'd have to touch, well, we don't have to, but let's touch on Chris doing this open show in Prague. Mike, I mean, what do you've competed against him. I mean, his mentality's there. He's been very successful. Whatever he does there is not going to tarnish his legacy. I mean, how do you think he's going to do? I mean, both of you guys, I mean, does he really have a chance to win this? Is who he is and what he's done in the past gonna, obviously it's not going to hurt his placing, but how's that going to stack up to an open bodybuilder? Will they start looking, at open bodybuilding with different physiques? And I mean, does he have a shot to win this thing?
I need to see, or we need to talk about different aspects. Muscle mass, no.
Right.
Muscle maturity, yes. Aesthetic condition, yes. Posing, presentation, yes. So when it comes to bodybuilding, as Dennis said, it's heavy, it's nasty, it's kind of like dirty. That's bodybuilding. Chris is the classic guy. He looks handsome. He's not the heavy bodybuilder. So it's obviously not his division, but he brings some high-level things on stage. Presentation, the condition will be outstanding. Aesthetics, all that come into play when it comes to the judging. But imagine there's an open bodybuilder in like Martin Fitzwater. Let's say Martin Fitzwater. He might get the qualification for the Olympia, but he might maybe lose to Chris Bumstead. But Chris won't compete in open. So where's the point to give the Olympia qualification to Chris and not to Martin? Because Martin will compete at the Olympia, Chris won't. So personally, if I'm a judge, I would judge him, but I would not judge him in a real bodybuilding environment. It's more like a fun show.
Right. And you know what? I'm going to disagree with you. And I don't know Chris at all. Never spoken with him. You know him obviously better than I do. I would say that if he were to win this, I would say he would, there's a 50-50 shot he's going to do the Olympia, the open next year. I know he's like retiring, moving on. I think there's a shot if he wins, he'd do it. I just think there's going to be, people are just going to demand it. So we'll see. But I mean, Dennis, what do you think? No? I mean, I know you're a pure open guy.
I think if you're, as an athlete, if you already made the decision to retire, you didn't make the decision yesterday. You've been thinking about it for a long time, right? So if Chris has, for over the last years, we know about his health issues, but
right.
He is handling that like a champion. Everything is perfect. Bodybuilding is a different level. Training, eating, preparing. It's not gonna work, especially with that issues. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's a lot of work, a lot more pressure on your body. Everything is different, heavier, like Mike said, nastier, right? So, but to coming back to the Prague Pro and Chris competing, man, I think it's fun for him too because now he's using the rebound to like blow up, and that's uh, the look. Even the bodybuilder, right? So he knows, everybody knows that that's the look you're never gonna bring on stage. So that's the look. So and I think that's what he tries to do because he's gonna be like I think like 15 pounds heavier for sure, right? So with all the details in on his physique, like he has a beautiful physique and all of that. That's gonna be very interesting to see, all that blow up like muscle round. They get rounder, more water is in the muscle. So and standing next to bodybuilders, that's gonna be a very interesting picture. But like what Mike said, judging is a different thing, like muscle mass. But the rest, you will probably beat every bodybuilder, right? But bodybuilding is muscle. So that's the number one criteria, right? So if you have not enough muscle, it's already like a strong point you're losing. But I would say he will be in the mix in the top. I mean, you might even ending up winning that. But like I said, it's bodybuilding is still bodybuilding, right? So, but it's like for me, it's interesting. I don't even like to like judge that, because it's a different level and the type of structure and bodybuilding, right? So it's like two different physiques. Like if we compare it to Fritwater, right? So very
I'm
interesting,
excited.
very exciting to see that for sure.
Oh, guys,
Yeah.
there's some room for a new bet, I guess.
Okay. All right. Let's see the
you
bet.
you love to bet, huh?
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
What are we
Yeah.
betting and what's the bet? You throw it out there, Mike.
Okay. I think that the judges will not let Chris down. So it's not like, oh, Chris, you know what? You're too small. You're like 13th place. That's not going to happen.
No, that won't
He will
happen.
be in the mix for top 5. I believe he will not win the show. I believe he will be place number 5. I'll go for 5. No disrespect. He looks amazing, and he's doing what every classic athlete is dreaming of. Eat as much as you can, be as big as you can, no weight cap anymore, just go there and have fun. This is what he's doing. This is what everybody's dreaming of. But I guess he will get the top 5, and he will be 5th place.
Okay. I think that's a greatest. I'm kind of right there with you. After even seeing the online side by side, he does not have Martin's muscle. So I agree with you. I think he's going to be in the top 5. I don't think he can beat Martin just on muscle mass, man. It's like you said, open bodybuilding is a different animal. Now, is Raphael doing that one as well?
I don't know. I could call Neil, but maybe I won't reach him now.
I would think Raphael and Martin would beat him. I think he can beat Horse MD. I think he could probably, just because his waist. I think it's going to kind of, magnify some of. You have to tell me his name. I just know he goes by Horse. But D'Angelo, I think he can beat him.
D'Angelo, something with M.
Right, MD, but his legs are huge. I think, though, Chris can probably expose him on some shots. So I'm going to say Chris in 3rd. Behind the top 2 open guys, who I think Martin will win it. And if Raphael does it, I think he'll place 2nd. That's my call on that. And I'm really excited to see him next to Sean Clarita, because, Sean, after coming way down and competing with a smaller package, I bet he's going to come back and bring that, that physique he had last year, which is what he has to do in open bodybuilding anyway. So I'm really excited to see Chris stand next to him. And man, Sean could get, 2nd or 3rd. But I think him and Chris will be kind of like side by side, even though they're totally different physiques. So, but I think Martin's going to win it. What do you think, Dennis?
I also think Martin is going to win it because of the structure and everything. And then he's open class bodybuilder. Man, where should put Chris? It's hard. Like I mean, I really think he will be in the top 5, even in the top 3. But it's also depending on another guy's conditioning at that day, you know. So, and if Bumstead gonna bring all that fullness he's trying to build now, you know, until the show, that's gonna look impressive, I think, you know. So
I saw some pictures. He blew up crazy. By the way, horse's name is Marcello.
Marcello, yes.
I checked Rafa's stories. He still looks in shape. His face is still like a little bit sucked in. His food is really clean. I saw some eggs. I saw white fish. I truly believe there's no reason to stay on white fish if you're not competing. There's much more food you can have, like for recovery post Olympia. I don't have any information, but possibly he might be there.
So what's the bet then? Because I'm not going to say that Chris is going to win it, as much as I would love to see that.
Yeah,
I don't
Mike, let's hear it.
So if you're trying to get to sucker me in that Chris is going to be, I don't think that's going to happen.
No disrespect. I want him to win. I love this guy, but I think he's going to place top 5, number 5. He will be 5th place.
I'm going to say 3rd. So I'll bet you 3rd or higher versus your 5th. How about that?
Okay. Dennis?
What do you got?
Choice.
All right. I'll do something crazy. I say he will be 2nd.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, that's fair enough. So second or higher, I guess. Well, I don't think we did.
Not higher than 2nd. No way.
Higher than 2nd. Okay. So I'm going to say 3rd or 4th. All right. Mike's going to say 5th. So, we can do dinner. If you're going to be in Vegas, I'm out there a lot. We'll bet dinner on it. How about that?
Great. Let's do that.
All right. That sounds good. Okay. I got this little game. I want to get through it too fast. I'm going to try to stay under an hour here. So what I got for us today, a little bodybuilding trivia. We are going to call it the mustache muscle Q&A. Bearded mustache legends. Okay. So I'm going to give you a description. You're going to tell me this bearded. There actually wasn't many bearded guys that are legends in the sport, more mustaches, but we do have one bearded legend, and you guys should know it. So we're going to change it up. I typically go back and forth. So this is going to be a first answer deal. So whoever can just blurt it out the first is gonna win. We got 5 questions. So what we do here, Mike, I've got a Big Bad Bodybuilding t-shirt here, and we have one that says "I slayed the wolf" on the back. So if you beat Chris, if you beat Dennis, then we'll send you one of those. All right, how about that? Dennis, what is your record now? 2-2, maybe. I know you've won a couple.
Yeah, I think it's 3-2 or 2-2. How many did we? 5 or 4?
I can't even remember. I think Wesley. Did you beat Wesley? I can't remember.
Oh, you won. You won.
Yeah. Okay. And then I know who else? We had the Wolfpack episode.
He won too. Yes.
Yeah, he won because I had some ridiculous question on wolves, which was just, I don't know. It was not even bodybuilding related, but these are bodybuilding related today. So, but yeah, and I know you beat who was it? Beef Stew. I think you beat him.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, all right. So here we go. First,
all right.
These are going to start out easy and get harder as we go. All right, here we go. Known as one of the best and dramatic posers of all time, this golden era legend was a regular at Gold's Gym and gained popularity for the classic documentary Pumping Iron.
Yusuf Wilkot, like a bearded guy?
Mustache or beard. Okay, it's got to be a mustache or beard.
Yusuf Wilkot?
Mike Menzer?
Not yet. Nope.
Yeah. Lily Brother.
Dude,
Lily had no beard.
The mustache.
Okay. Oh, he was in Pumping Iron. All right. I'm sure you guys have seen that. He was on the cover of Pumping Iron.
Lou Ferrigno had like a beard. Like here.
Man, I thought this was going to be the easy one. In a wheelchair. He used to show up at all the shows.
Ronnie Coleman.
All right, Ed Corney. You guys blew that one. Ed Corney.
Oh no.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm a little worried now because that was the easy one. Okay, nobody got a point there. All right, this one. I already know you guys. Somebody mentioned it. This German bodybuilder was a 2-time Mr. Universe champion. that came on the IFBB scene in the 1980s, placing as high as third at the Olympia in 1984. He was a weightlifting champion. Yeah, who was, yeah.
Real good.
That's right. And the Golden Era named the bearded champion. So who said it first?
Who was it? Yusuf Wilkosh.
It was.
He lived literally 30 minutes from my house where I was born and raised.
Really?
Frankfurt.
Great German champion. He's the only one I could find that really, I mean, with the exception of some Arabian, champions recently, he rocked that. I never saw him without the beard. So, yeah, great champion.
Yes. I met him, I think, 20 years ago or so, or 18 years ago at the German championship, at the banquet. We've been eating, after the championships. So, yeah, he was still bigger.
Yeah, he was
always very bigger.
He was going to do the Masters Olympia, and then he had a lot of injuries, but he was actually going to do the Masters in 94, and then it got derailed because of injuries. But yeah, old school guy, man. Trained with Arnold in the 70s before he ever started competing, and then won the German championships in the 80s. So legend, man. All right, Dennis, we'll give you that one. Next question. A former Mr. Olympia heavyweight champion in 1979. This legendary mustache is best known for his development of the high-intensity, heavy-duty training.
Mike Minzer.
Minzer. All right. Nice. That was easy. Mike got it first. We got 1-1. All right, here we go. Next question. This Mr. Olympia champion is still active on the scene today, best known for his incredible detailed back. This was the last Mr. Olympia to weigh under 200 pounds.
Under
200 when he won the title in Munich, Germany in 1983.
Samir Banu.
That is correct.
Ooh, I didn't know. Okay.
Did you not know that one? Yeah,
no,
dude, when I saw that he was under 200, that blows my mind. I mean, I know he's not a tall guy, but to have that amount of muscle.
Is that back in Germany, Munich? Yep.
Yeah, I didn't really, yeah.
I'm born in 94. I was not even alive.
Yeah, I know. It's probably not fair, but, that's all right. Had to make it tough. Okay, so, Dennis, you're up 2-1, I think. Okay, this one's going to be tough, man. Now, I don't know. I would know it. I'm kind of a dork when it comes to bodybuilding, history, but we'll see if you guys can get this one. It's tough. For the win or Mike for the tie. This African-American 1990s bodybuilding star was a 4-time Mr. Olympia competitor, always known for being vastly underrated. Many believed he placed lower because of his affiliation with Vince McMahon's failed WBF bodybuilding organization. Sporting his mustache, he had incredible calves and always one of the thickest guys on stage. He often portrayed himself as Batman.
Aaron Baker.
Got it. He got it.
Wow.
Do you know where Aaron Baker is, Mike?
No idea. I'm sorry.
Look up Aaron Baker. He was like one of my all-time favorites. When I was growing up, I was like, why is this guy never?
Man, it was fantastic.
Dude,
was it the guy, his hair?
Yeah, like that a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
Mustache.
But I didn't know his name. Yeah,
and he talked really high pitch, like Mike Tyson high, like really high. But he was always, wearing the striped tights and, the fanny packs and I mean, he was just 90s bodybuilding to me, but he was always so underrated. One year he placed like 12th in the Olympia and people were saying he should have won the show. So he really, I think competing in that WBF, I think that really they blackballed him and that
yeah, of course.
Really hurt him. But yeah, dude, look up some old shots, Mike, of Aaron Baker and calves for a black guy. I mean, dude, they were amazing. I mean, let's be honest, right? Like that was a tough thing for a lot of those guys. And dude, this guy's calves,
he really looked phenomenal, man.
Back was amazing. Anyway, all right. So Dennis, sorry. I mean, we may sing a shirt anyway, Mike, but Dennis,
no shirt for you.
No shirt for you. Dennis definitely needs some more shirts, man. Like we don't have them. Gasp hadn't hooked them enough, up enough with some shirts. So we'll send you some other ones. All right. Well, that was fun, man. So I'm glad somebody knew who Aaron Baker was other than me. So
oh yeah.
So hey, let's go to these cards. And I know we had mentioned earlier about these Olympia trading cards. Now, Mike, did you get in on this? Are you in on any of these?
Yes, and I got my own. Like they gave it to me.
That's cool what I heard. So they sent you. Did you get it at the Olympia or did they mail it to you?
I got it at the Olympia. And I remember when I was collecting Pokemon cards and now I have my own signature Olympia trading cards.
How great is that, right? So, I was so excited to see these because growing up, I was a big baseball card junkie. Now my son is. And I mean, it's all about the one of ones or how rare they are and the grading and the autographs and stuff. So could we open this right now and get an autographed Mike Badass card in here?
Maybe. Let's see. Let's check that out. I got it.
Okay. So we're going to thank you to Gloria. All right. At Olympia tradingcards.com. All right. Our newest sponsor. They've sent Dennis and I a case, and we're going to open them right here and see what we got.
Let's see.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about this. If we get a mic, that's going to be awesome.
Show me, guys. I want to see it.
All right. So let's go through these.
So we got.
So these were at the Olympia. All right. If you guys didn't see them, they had their own booth.
How many cards are in
one way? Look at that. 15. The second picture.
Who you got? Let me see.
No way.
All right. Yeah. That's great, man. Oh, I got a Brie on
this
here.
This is 2022, I believe.
Is that what that's from? 2022?
I believe it's 2022, yeah.
The picture. Yeah, I was wondering where they took the pictures from.
Placement 8. Number 28.
Oh, then it's 23.
2023. Okay. Well, all right. I got a Global Power Andrew Jack. All right. So that's pretty sweet.
I got Regan Grimes.
We got scorecards here.
James Ladori.
Oh, okay. And my auto is Lisa Alcantara, which.
Hey, look, that's pretty cool. They have
one auto
debut cards. You see?
Right. Yeah. That's very cool.
That's pretty cool.
Very cool.
And the quality is super, like, these are high quality cards. Like,
yes,
right? Absolutely. And I got a Brandon Hendrickson there from the Classic.
Oh, my teammate.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You guys are teammates. Good deal. Well, hey, these are super cool. Dennis, who was your autograph? What autograph did you get?
Autograph?
Did you get that far? It should be at the end.
The end? Oh, I got. Oh, look.
Who we got here? I can't remember.
Marin Blanquisco.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Olympia champion.
Nice. It's really cool. They have these autos in there. Mike, how many of those did they have you sign?
I guess 20, 30, something.
Okay, so
they
pretty
like a whole piece of paper, like right in here. So
the question is, have your autos gone up in value since the Olympia? That's what I want to know.
Oh yeah, you're right.
We need a trading card pricing to see the actual value on that thing. So these are really cool, guys. Again, thank you to Gloria and OlympiaTradingCards.com. Go on there and check it out. I believe we are the only place that has a discount available, 10% off if you use code Wolf10. We'll throw it up there on the screen. But thank you guys, and we're looking forward to a long partnership with them. And I know Dennis wants to collect the whole pack, right?
Absolutely. I would love
the whole set. So
we should open a Facebook trading group.
There you go. There you go. So guys,
first, Dennis needs to sign up again on Facebook.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Gold medal.
That's amazing. Great gift, and
And we laughed because Dennis. We told Dennis, he finally won the Olympia. He got to hold the Olympia gold medal there. And we're gonna let this serve as the 2000 Dennis Wolf Mr. Olympia uncrowned champion medal right there. So, and I know I was talking to Gloria, and we'd love to see the vintage guys, right? Like Dennis, we want to see you on a card. We want to see the Dorian Yates, the Ronnie Coleman. So I don't know, I haven't spoken with them, but we're gonna have her on the show soon, and we'll see what happens. But I would love to see some vintage stuff because I know us guys that do hobbies and collect stuff. I mean, we want the greats. So. Hopefully we can see you on there and then more Mike cards. Mike, I want to ask you about your Instagram handle. Where did Badass come from? Is that self-imposed? Did you make that up, or did somebody give you that nickname?
No, his name is Benek. He's a very close friend, like 18 years ago. I always had friends who are older than me. Like I was maybe 13, 14 years old, and they were already like 18, 19, 20 years old. And I always was the guy. I wanted to be part of the crew, part of the group. And you're like the little guy who's like, what is he doing again? So I try to be a part of the community. And sometimes they're making fun of you and, playing games with you here and there because you're the young little guy, right? So I need to prove myself. I need to show them that I'm not the little kid anymore. And one day, and I started to compete, and he was really... how's the word in English? He likes to draw. He's very
artistic.
Yeah. So he was drawing a picture, like just with a permanent marker on a piece of paper with the headline, "The Badass."
Okay.
I didn't know what it meant like back then. And then I, like years ago, I understood that badass does not mean you're a mean, nasty guy. Badass means that you're on the money when it comes to make decisions and like go straight forward. This is what badass is doing. And all the movies you see with like Sylvester Stallone or Vin Diesel, these are the typical characteristics of a badass, like super humble, friendly guy. But when it comes to make things happen, they are on the money. Like they don't make any exception. They will finish their job, and this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean that's what it means to me over here. It's definitely not a derogatory term. It means like, you know, that's when I've used it. He's a badass. That means like he knows what he's doing. Don't F with that guy because he's like got his crap together. So yeah, that makes sense. So yeah,
unfortunately, Germany still does not understand the word correctly.
Okay.
If they call you badass, it's basically you're a rude, ugly, disrespectful guy, but it's quite the opposite.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, that's an interesting backstory there.
Because there's bad in the word and ass in the word. So
yeah, I mean,
that's why no, it's not good.
Well, I was going to ask you, as you grow in your popularity, is that something you're going to change, or we're sticking with that, man? Because everybody knows you as that now, right? I had to look up your last name when I first, you know, when you first came on the scene.
I was thinking about it, and I don't know who. I guess it was Regan Grimes. He said, "Mike, do you think that Mike the Badass is still the right word?" Because for me, you're not like you're not, you know, a strict, super straight, focused guy. Sometimes I'm making fun and like stupid jokes and stuff. This is not badass. So he asked me like, do you think it's still the right thing? But when I'm thinking about it, yes, it is, because when it comes down to make decisions, make things happen, I'm on the money. Like there's no way I will not reach my goals. There's something inside me. I need to make it happen. I have to. There's no way to say like, okay, let's try. No, I will do everything I can to make it happen, whatever it is.
Man, that's going to wrap up our show. We're right at about an hour. So a little over what I said, but thank you, of course, to Olympia Trading Cards.
Welcome to the pinnacle of bodybuilding. We are all here to witness the birth of legends and to see dreams become reality. We adore our idols, and they're the ones that push us to strive to be the best we can. Every rep, every drop of sweat, and every sacrifice all comes to a top on stage, and every little moment is captured eternally on the card. Because the love and passion for the game is eternal. Olympia Trading Cards.